Namaste and greetings to all of you. Welcome to all of you to our second learning session of Read Between the Lines, which is a reading skills program for all age. I would like to thank Lion Mukesh Mittalji for all your efforts to schedule today's program, Lion Dr. Richard Meyer and Lion Janice Rosal, who despite of their busy schedule provided us time for our today's session, Lion Parth Guragai sir for introducing Read Between the Lines to Nepal, and Lion Seema Agrawal ma'am for clearing our doubts on it. Without wasting much our time, I would directly like to hand over the floor to Lion Dr. Richard Meyer to share us about Read Between the Lines. Over to you, Lion Richard. In the meantime, if you have any of the confusions, you can please feel free to put those in chat box. Lion Richard will take those questions immediately after the session. Over to you, Lion Richard.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Namaste. So this program is, I'm a retired behavioral optometrist. So I developed this program over 36 years in my practice in Reno. So I worked extensively with children, with athletes, with people that had learning disabilities, that had head injuries, trauma, strokes, tumors in their brain. And the first system that fails or is challenged or has difficulty with is the jump eye movement system. So everybody reads by jump eye movements. So the goal of this program is to change your ability to do accurate jump eye movements. So it's a series of activities that can be done. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes a day. And if you do them, after 3 weeks, you'll see a change in your performance. You will read better with less effort. And if you can go with throughout your country and help out these children, then they'll do the same thing. So this is a simple program. It's the way it's developed or designed is such that you do a short test. They only have to know 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. And from that, you can determine how fast they can go, how they compare to someone else. They do the program, you come back and repeat that same testing sequence and see what changed. So there's a concern one time that you're just testing and then retesting, and so they're learning how to do the test better. That's not the case. It's actually in performance. And so you can do other tests in reading, and you'll see their changes in reading. So when you read by jump eye movements. You look for one point to another point, to another point, to another point, then you make a big jump, go from the end line to the start of the next line. So it's assumed when you go into school that you know how to do that. And that's not the right assumption to make. Until you do that and become efficient, your performance won't change. So Janice is with us. So she's going to do all the screen sharing and everything like that. And Janice is my co-creator. She's I come up with crazy ideas and she says, oh, we can do that. Then I change it and we can do that. We can do that. So we're in a process right now of changing this whole program to make it even easier for you on the website. So anyway, so if you look at my eyes, can you see my eyes? If I read, can you see what my eyes are doing?
Yes.
So you can see, I don't move smoothly across the line. I jump from one point to another point. So now what we're going to do is I need someone. Janice has got this program up, the screening and remediation there. So we're going to go through the screening portion of this program. So I'll let you guys designate who is going to do the testing or the racing, and then somebody else can do the timing, how fast they can do that. So on my iPhone, there's an app, or not an app, there's a feature there that the stopwatch says clock, and that's what I use. Janice uses a hard, regular stopwatch, the old type stopwatch. So this is all the sheets. If you go to the website and you download all forms, And you'll come up with 34 pages. So she's scrolling down through the 34 pages now. So if we can go to the first screening then, Denise. Keep on going down, Denise, please. Here it is. So screening for reading skills. So there's a section of there that tells you how to do this one. So the first one is, and you guys have already downloaded this screening form. And so who is going to do the calling out the numbers? Who's going to be the person that's going to do that?
I will
Okay.
try at first, okay? If you
Okay.
um,
Okay, so well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up my stopwatch here. And when you start saying the numbers, I'm going to time and see how fast you can do that. Okay,
okay, sir. Thank you.
go ahead and go. Say them out loud, please.
3 2 1 2 3 1 3 2 1 2 2 1 3 2 1 3 2 1 2 3 1 3 2 1 3.
Good. Okay, so you did that in 9 seconds. So it's pretty simple to do that. So you just time it. So it's the same thing again. So now we're going to go, that was a demonstration card to show the person that you're testing or evaluating or screening that you have to go across the line of print, go from end line to the start of the next line. So now we're going to do the same thing again. And now there's no diagonal line going from the end of the line to the start of the next line. So can you do that again?
So
Go
I
as fast as you can. Yes.
3 2 1 2 1 3 2 3 1 2 1 3 2 2 3 3 2 3 1 2 1 3 2 3 1 2 1 3 2 3 1 2 1 3 2 3 1 3 2 1.
Good. So it took you 13 seconds. Did you hear the other participants in this Zoom call? Did you hear the difference there? That you had difficulty going from the end of the line to the start of the next line. You went right across really well. Then you made a stop. Then went jump back over. Then really good. And so now the ability to go from the end of the line to the start of the next line, if you can make that so it's just smooth, you'll read faster. Okay, so try to not just read across, then take a break and go to the next one. But if you can make it all so it sounds like it's nice and smooth going down, kind of like you're skiing down a ski slope. So let me change my stopwatch here, reset. Can you do it again?
Okay, I will read out it.
Yes.
3 1 2 3 2 1 3 2 2 3 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 1 3 1 2 3 2 3 1 3 1 3 1 3 2 3 1 3 2 1 1 2 3 1 3.
Okay, so it took you 14 seconds there. So you got a little bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to be even more efficient on that. So now what we do is this next one, as you go from second grade reading in the United States to third grade reading, everything gets squashed together. So if you read first grade text, when you're first learning how to read, everything has a period at the end. Second grade, the period is more in the center, somewhere in the center. And third grade, everything gets squashed. So now you notice that everything's squashed together. So we'll do the same thing again. Go as fast as you can. And when you're set, you just go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and start.
1 3 2 3 2 3 2 1 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 2 1 1 3 2 3 3 2 1 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 3 1 3 1 3 2 3 2 3 1.
Good. So it took you 14 seconds again. So what you do then is you add up all those three numbers that you just did. And so here on the form, there's all the testing right there. So you can just watch and then you can add those up. So we got 13, 14, and 14 is 28, 30,
41.
41.
41.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see that you're better than a 14-year-old. Okay, so, but if you practice these activities we're going to show you now, what you'll find out is the ability to go from the end of the line to the start of the next line will smooth out. You become more efficient and everything will just become faster and easier. So what we're actually training is brain systems here. We're training central processing, being able to see in the center and be able to see at the side at the same time. And when you do both of those things at the same time, you go into a state of flow, and flow just becomes, everything becomes easy, simple. It just moves and you lose a track of time, and it's just a lot easier. But if you're all tight, okay, where you can't do it, everything just moved in very tight, then your reading comprehension will be a lot lower and your fluency will be a lot lower. So by doing these simple activities, you're going to train your fluency. So now, do you want to do the training task too?
Okay, sir, I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, so what you have to do for this is, did you download the pieces of paper?
Yeah.
Yes, so you have them in, so you have them in paper form, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
everybody
sir.
needs to take a marker. So we need a marker. So you need to take this marker, and we're going to put, somebody needs to have a metronome beat. So the person that's going to do it needs to have a metronome. So, and a metronome does this. So mine is, you get the free metronome, so you don't have to buy anything.
I have that app.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So here's the one that I have, and you can hear that. And that's at 86 beats per minute. On my
No, sir.
iPhone, it also does this. Okay, so sometimes that's a value for some kids. So now someone turn on their metronome there and use your marker. You need to have a marker. The purpose of the marker is to see where you're hitting. You can't do this on a computer screen. And the reason why you can't do it is you can't see where you hit. And you don't want to use a marker on a computer screen because then it gets all mucked up.
I have this paper, I think.
So we don't want to muck up your screen there. So, but if you have a piece of paper, so what I do is I just take my piece of paper. So here's mine. You can see it has the 4 lines, just like what Janice has put up there. I take my marker. I turn on my metronome. Then I touch the lines on the beat. So remember I made a comment that it was difficult for you to go from the end of the line to the start of the next line? The metronome doesn't stop. It doesn't go dot, 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 and stop, then go over dot, 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 stop. It just continues. So it forces you to get on there and to go from the end of the line to the start of the next line more efficiently. Okay, so that's why I use a metronome. So they're all free. And so now, who would like to do that? Turn on their metronome and take their marker and touch those lines upper left-hand corner. Who would like to do that? Need someone to practice. Dr. Agarwal, you want to do that?
For today, I want participation of our members. So
Okay.
not for today, Richard.
You designate the member that you want to do.
Dr. Subhas.
Okay. You're on. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, what I have to do?
Okay. So the goal is you're going to turn on your metronome and
Yes.
you're going to touch the lines on the metronome beat with a marker pen.
Okay.
The reason why you have to use a marker pen, because I need to see where you hit, and where you touch is where your eyes were looking at.
Yeah,
Okay. Like this.
yeah, you set it down, yes.
Also that it on the desk.
So use a
Yeah.
marker, use your piece of paper, and you're going to turn on your metronome and you're going to touch those lines on the beat and let's just try 80 beats per minute.
Okay. So shall I show my paper on the screen or not?
Just do it, and then you can show how well you did at the end. So turn on your metronome to 80 beats per minute. And then once you just hear the 80 beats there, then just start touching those lions, and you can show what you did.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yep.
Okay, start.
So are you finished with the first section there?
Yes.
Okay, so just stop and just show your screen, show the piece of paper. Turn it around so everybody can see how well you did. Maybe.
Visible.
It doesn't project. Okay, so the question that I'll just ask you, did you touch
Yes.
all the lions at that beat?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so you touched them all. So
Yes.
that means that you can accomplish that at 80 beats per minute. So what you would do with a child is you go, now, what the goal is to get to 120 beats per minute. So
Yeah.
we're going to do the same thing. So turn your metronome to 120 beats per minute,
Okay.
and then you're going to do the same thing. So just adjust it to 120.
Okay.
Okay, turn it on and touch those lines, the upper right hand corner, the ones that are closer together.
All right.
Upper
Okay,
right
so-
hand corner.
This one.
You're going to do that one there. Correct. Yes.
Okay.
At
This-
120 beats per minute. And your job is to touch those lines on the beat.
Okay.
Okay.
Shall I start?
Yes. How'd you do? Did you hit all the lions?
Yes, very easily.
Very easy. Perfect. Well, that's what you want. So you want success. When you're working with children, you want them to succeed. And you want to make it a game. So it's not a task. You're not forced to do that. And you ask them, okay, are you ready for the next level? And they go, okay, yeah, let me see if I can do that. So now the next level would be, instead of 4 lions, it's now 3 lions. If you turn the next page, you'll see there's 3 lions. It's the same process. But now
Yes.
you have to be able to see in the center and be able to see in the side more. So you have to, when you do a saccade or when you do a jump eye movement, you identify here, and you actually turn off your brain for a thousandth of a second, okay? Then you determine how far you got to jump to the next one. Then your brain turns back on and touches it, turns off, then jumps over, turns on. So you go on, off, versus smooth pursuit tracking, which is a different type of tracking. Your brain is on all the time. So if you watch an object move back and forth, your brain is always on. But if you do a jump eye movement, your brain goes on, off in thousandths of seconds. Okay, so we're trying to teach that system to be better and to make better accuracy on how well you can jump from one point to another point. So who would like to do this now? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do it? You ready to do this one? Level 3 lions? See how well you did? We'll just go through all the lions with you. How's that?
So what we have got to do? We
So you're gonna do the
stop
same
our
thing.
eye movement.
So you're going to touch those lions with a metronome beat. 1, 2, 3, going straight across. Dot, 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 straight across. Okay?
What exactly the same I did it for the first page.
Yes. Yes. It's the same thing, but now it's 3 lions instead of 4 lions.
Okay.
And we'll do it, since you were so accomplished at 4 lions at 120 beats per minute, we might as well go 120 beats per minute at 3 lions, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. That. Okay.
okay. You turn on your metronome, you go.
Okay.
Good.
Done.
So it's easy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was easy. So now the next level of that is now we have 2 lions. So if you turn to the next page, so you see there's 2 lions.
Yes.
Okay, so now what you're practicing is, remember when we first did the first screening test, I can't remember your doctor's name, the doctor's name there that did the testing. Anyway, he went right across, then he paused, went back over, right across, paused. And this one, we're just going to practice going from one side to the other side. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. You're going to touch those lines to 120 beats per minute. Okay, and let's see if you can do that. So upper left-hand corner. Okay, so turn on your metronome. Was that easy?
No, it is slightly difficult than earlier.
Right. So that means the reason why it's more difficult is you had to turn on more your peripheral vision, your
Yes.
peripheral processing. So you
4
had to make
lines was the easiest, then 3 was difficult, and 2 is more difficult.
Yes, it is. So now we're going to go to the next level on this. And we'll show that. So Janice will move that up. So now it looks like this.
Oh.
So now reading is not just everything's in blocks. There's indentations on each side.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to do the upper right-hand corner one instead of the left-hand corner, just because if you look at it there, it looks more confusing than it does on the left-hand corner. So being that you're so accomplished on all the other ones, they're all easy. We'll just go to the one that's harder. Okay?
Yes.
Ready? Okay,
Ready.
so try it for 120. Okay, and see if you can touch those lines, the upper right-hand corner
Okay.
at
Let's
that
start.
beat. And you have to stay on the right line, because it looks like in your vision, okay, that you'll go down and up. And so when kids are learning how to read, you can actually listen to them. They'll go across, and all of a sudden they go down, then they go up, and they're on the wrong line. And you ask them what they read, they go, I don't know. So we'll try and get you to see the lines there. Okay, see the lines of lions there. Okay, go
Yes,
ahead. Go ahead. You can start. You already go at 120. Is that good for you?
I missed few ones.
Okay. So what that means, it's an opportunity to change. So when you're working with a child, you just go down. Hey, you missed a couple lines. Okay, so now let's go down a little bit slower. So not too much slower. So you can decide what speed do you think you should do it at to learn how to do this at high speeds.
Try at 100 beats per minute.
Okay, so you go down to 100. Try that. See what happens.
Okay.
So turn it on.
Okay, let's start.
Good. By looking at your facial expressions, you look like this was boring. It was too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was too easy.
Yes, it was a little bit. It was slower.
Yeah. So when you're working with a child, okay, you'll say, and they'll do just like what you did, go from 120 to 100. Then you look at them and go, and they're all bored. I mean, their brain is almost thinking about something else, what they're gonna have for lunch. So there's a balance there. So you play this game of just where they're able to perform at. So that's 3 lions or 2 lions, 2 random. Now we have a whole bunch of stuff in there. So if you look at the right one, the upper right one again, now we got 3 lines going across. Okay, it's more like a text than a book because you got more stuff, you got more central peripheral processing, figure ground relationships. So your job is to touch those lines again, and you can pick your speed. You decide what you want.
I want to do it at 120 because 100 was less boring.
Okay, perfect.
Can we go higher than 120?
Yeah, go. When you're set, you go.
Then let's try at 120 first. Restart.
Okay. How was that?
It was a little easier.
That was easier. Yeah. Okay. So when you're working with kids, or if let's say you had a patient that had a stroke, okay, and so when you anytime you have an insult to the brain, your jump eye movement system is affected. So what you do is you go back to where they can achieve at. Okay, and as soon as they can achieve it, then you try to push them a little bit harder, a little bit faster, more complex. So I've trained many stroke patients, many head injury patients, many macular degeneration patients. So macular degeneration, theoretically, you can't see in the center, but you can see to the side. But you can teach them how to see better in the center, even though that retina is damaged. It's been changed. And they become really excited when they can perform. Okay, stroke patients become really excited because no one has actually taken the time to teach them how to do this, because everybody just assumes that you can do this. Okay, so this is straightforward. We work all the way from kids all the way through to anybody out there, so everybody can benefit. So if you want to read faster, why stop at 120? So when I work with Olympic athletes, okay, I don't stop at 120. I keep pushing the envelope. What speed can you go at? What do you think? Can you do 135? Can you do 138? I don't know if oh God, I can't do 138, but I can do 130. And then they push themselves because they want to do it at 140. They don't want to stop at 138. They want to do 140. Okay, and what they see is they're able to perform easier. So Olympic athletes are always looking for that little edge. So I'm working with a bicycle rider in San Diego, and he wants to ride faster. He wants to compete against the young bucks. He's 61 years old, but he figures I'm in great shape. I can beat the young bucks. So this is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we increase our age, as we get older, our jump eye movements decrease in speed. Okay, we're not able to do it as fast. If you watch your patients that are in their 70s, early 80s, you ask them how much you read, and they go, I don't read as much as I used to. I just watch TV. Because they give up reading because jump eye movements, their central peripheral processing doesn't work as well. And you can change that. So it's a skill that anybody can use. My youngest patient I trained was 3.5. The oldest patient is 102. So anybody can benefit. So that's the Lions. It's really simple. You need to do 2 pages a day. So if you practice 2 pages a day, you'll be better. And you can push that envelope, whatever speed that you're at, see if you can push it up. So you just need a app that gives a metronome, and then you need a marker, and then just pages. So what you do to save your paper, so you don't have to keep printing it out, you just put it into a slip. And so there's Janice. She shows you. It's a form there, and those are relatively inexpensive. And you just put it in there and just wipe it off and do it the next day. Do it, wipe it off, do it the next day. So now to continue on. So with this, language is not a barrier. Okay, you don't have to know any letters. You don't have to know any words. You don't have to know numbers. But now we're going to change it to the same thing. So now we have a two number column. So we're going to practice going from the end of the line to the start of the next line on the metronome beat. So, Dr. Agarwalda, who would you like to do now? Who's your next guinea pig to do?
So now I would like to nominate Leo Sahara Subedi, who has joined us from Ghopa. Leo Sahara, over to you. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, Namaste, sir.
Okay,
These are done out loud, remember?
Yeah, I am. I'm searching for that copy.
Lion Richard, can you please tell her the page number? Page number 1.
page number is 22.
Space number 22. It isn't.
Or it could be number 1 and just the
Or
headline.
page 1 of the group there. Could be 1 or 22. If you downloaded them all, it's 22 if you, or page 1. So it's the 2 number columns.
I found that. 9.
Found it? Good.
This is
So do you
page
have a
number
metronome?
one of our PDF.
Azure.
So do you have a
Page
metronome?
number 1 now, your PDF. today.
Metronome.
Do you have one or not?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, so turn on your metronome.
Yes, sir.
And now you just need to say those numbers back and forth. No touching. You're not going to use your pen. No pens now. No pens. It's just saying them. Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to say them to the beat. So now what we're doing is we're integrating vision and hearing at the same time. So you have to do multiple things at the same time. Okay. So you got to integrate those systems. So you have seen patients that can't do that. They can't integrate those 2 systems.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of people will say, I can't hear unless I put on my glasses.
Oh,
So anyway, that's a statement that's made here all the time. So now turn on your metronome, turn it to 80 beats per minute, and now say those numbers back and forth to that beat.
sir, 60 plus 5. So,
So you're just gonna say it 9 3 1 0 3 5 5 7 2 9, just like that.
so should I start now from 80?
Yes. Start now.
Okay. 9 1 3 5 2 6 7 4 5 0 3 0 5 7 9 4 8 1 6 3.
Excuse me, I think you should go horizontally, not vertically. Okay,
Go horizontally. Yes.
like 93160, not 9135. Okay.
Very
So
good.
should I start again?
Tara,
Yes.
divide
Do it
the page is divided into 4 parts. The page is divided into 4 parts. You choose a part, you go horizontally like 9 3. Then you go to the next line 1 0, and the next line 3 5. Is it okay?
Yes,
Richard?
sir.
Perfect.
And do it on the beat, please.
On the
So I-
beat.
On the beat.
So I just so I have to read all of this or this only one page?
Just one column.
One
Just
column?
of the
Just what, the upper
upper
left hand
column.
one.
Okay,
top
sir.
right, left column.
I'm restarting it now. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm little
You're
bit.
fine. You're fine. You're good. No problem. It's all
No
good.
problem.
Oh,
I'm just a little bit anxious because it's my first time.
yes.
No.
Okay. It's turning. My phone is a little bit slow. Can I do it next time?
Sure.
What-
Okay. So what you see, that you're fine. This happens all the time when you work with kids. They all get tensed up. When you get tensed up, when you're in a challenging situation, you end up tunnel vision. You can't see to the side. Okay. So what we're doing is we're teaching you how to see to the side, how to relax. And as you practice this, so you can practice this at home, and what you'll see is it'll become easier and easier.
Practice
So
makes.
you'll turn on your awareness to the side. So when I meditate, okay, that turns on the parasympathetic nervous system. When you're all in fight or flight, okay, you're all centrally processed. You're going, oh, you're so tight. And you go, oh, I can't see to the side. And then it relaxes. And you go, oh, okay, I can see that. Okay, so what we're trying to do is to teach both systems, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, to become integrated. And when those two integrate, then you become in a state of flow, and it becomes, everything becomes easier. Okay. So who would you like to pick to do this? You can pick somebody.
Sir, I would like to pick my friend Leo Pravas Pokril.
Okay.
Okay,
Over to you, Pravas.
Hello, sir.
okay.
Shall I read now? Oh, sir.
Yes.
93103557296478415603.
Good. Did you do it to the metronome beat? Did you have your metronome turned on?
No,
So turn on your metronome.
one.
So that's going to give you your speed that you're going to do it at.
Pravas, you have
Okay.
made a common mistake that we usually make during our sessions in the beginning as a newbie.
You- Everybody's new. It's all fine. There's no problems. It's all easy. Okay, try it again.
So this is how we learn our mistakes.
That's the only way you learn, is you gotta do it. Okay, as Nike says, just do it. And if you screwed up, then do it again. And screw it up, do it again until you finally figure it out. Then do it fast.
It's all forgiving. We just want you to succeed at doing it. It's all,
Right.
all.
And don't worry, when I developed this, I made thousands of mistakes. I blew it so many times. Okay, once you figure it out, go, oh, that's easy. I can do that. Okay, so let's try it again.
So, pardon, sir. Metronome beat means I haven't understand that from
Pardon?
metronome beat means now I have to start stopwatch or
You
Oh.
don't no stopwatch. It's a metronome.
We have one app metronome. Have you downloaded it?
So my metronome's not working.
Leo Pravas, use the app you showed me in the afternoon on your mobile phone. If there is
Okay,
some
sir.
problem, we can move to Leo. We can move to Lion Vikas.
Okay,
Leo Pravas, I guess, is having some technical issues. Can you continue, Lion Dr. Vikas Das?
Yeah, I can continue this.
Sure, thank you. Please continue.
Just give me a second. Okay, I'm starting. 7019218307861923078.
piece of cake. That was 80 beats per minute.
Yep.
Yep, so that was easy. Okay, so
Yep.
perfect. So now your job, okay, do that same thing again, but do it faster. Pick another number. Instead of 80, pick another number.
Okay, I will go at 100.
Okay, do that.
Seven 0 1 9 2 1 8 3 0 7 8 6 5 1 9 2 3 0 7 8.
Piece of cake. No problems. So that's what you do, is you just keep changing the speed as they're able to perform. And there'll come a point where they can't do it any faster. They'll have too many challenges. So what you
Okay.
do is you go to a slower speed there. So now what we're going to do is Janice is going to go to the next one. So now
At
we have
same
letters.
speed? At same speed or higher speed?
Okay, so now we have the letter ones going back and forth. So now what I want you to go is start at the speed that you're at. So you were at 100 beats per minute. So let's see if you can say the letters at 100 beats per minute.
Okay.
Go.
K, M, S, G, J, T, R, B, A, G, C, Y, X, B, C, F, H, O, P, R.
Excellent. Okay, so now what you need to do is now you're able to do that. So now we're going to go to the next, we're going to make it harder for you again.
Okay.
We're going to go to the next level. Janice is going to move this up to show everybody. So now notice the difference here. What we have now is numbers, which you did just before, but now we just filled everything in the center. So your brains, so now you have to be able to, let's say, figure ground relationships, and you have to say the underlined numbers back and forth. So do you want to stay at 100 or do you want to go even faster?
I will try at 100 first, I think. I only need to speak out the underline number, right?
Underline numbers. So if you look at that, it's the same task, except I filled in the center.
Okay.
Okay. So just pay attention to the underline portion. Go.
Okay. 1 0 2 9 6 2 4 8 8 2 2 6 4 2 6 3 5 8 9 7.
Piece of cake. Did great. Good job. Easy. Piece of cake. So now if we go to the next one, it's the same thing, except I make it a little bit harder. The underlined ones are not all the way on the outside. They're more in the center.
Okay.
You ready for that game?
Yeah, I think I need to decrease my speed to 90 now.
Oh, come on. You did so well on the other ones. I don't think you need
Okay,
to.
let's try. Let's
What does
try
everybody
another
think? We'll give everybody a choice. Should he go down or should he
This
stay
is
at the same?
confusing. So,
Whatever
okay, I
you
will
want.
try at 100 first and see if I need to
Okay.
decrease later on. Okay, I'm starting. X, M, N, J, B, Q, A, W, L, C, X, H, S, X, W, M, U, P, L, G.
What do you think? Did you need to go down?
Yeah, no, I don't need to go
No,
down.
I thought you did fine. You did fine at 100. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what you see, what you demonstrated, the concept of fear. This is harder, so I'm afraid of this. I can't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have to balance that when you're working with these kids and adults. You go, okay, I think you can. You did so great. Hey, try it out. And you did fine. So you stepped up to the plate. This happens all the time, just like this. So as you see there, we went from the outer ones to the ones that are in the center. So now, if we go to the next level, is now you're going to make it harder. So I will give you a chance this time. You can go down in speed, but if you notice, they're not in nice columns. The underlined ones are all over the place. There's 2 on each row, but they're not in predictable pattern. So your brain has to work harder. You have to use more peripheral processing to know where you're going to go to.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you decide what you're going to do? And it's okay.
I think I will try at 100 first and
Okay.
look if I need to go down. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. 2 7. Oh, I did mistake in being. Let me start.
That's fine. Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. It's okay. You just jumped a little bit too far. So these kids that I work with and you work with, or you will work with, if they do this all the time, they jump too far. You just have to say, okay, that's what you did. So try it again.
Okay, let me start again. 2 6 1 4 6 5 2 8 4 4 7 5 3 8 0, 4, 7. Okay. Done. I think I need to
Again, you
decrease
did a
my
mistake.
speed. Yeah, I did a lot of mistake
You
here.
missed 5.
So I think I need to decrease the speed now.
Okay, you decide. It's a game. You pick your speed.
I will go at 90.
Okay.
2, 6, 1, 4, 6, 5, 2, 8, 4, 4, 7, 5, 3, 8, 0, 4, 5, 7, 3, 0.
Is that easy?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
easy.
So you can see you're playing a game. You're just balancing how well you do it. You know, if they can't perform, you go down. If they can't perform, then you go up. And you did a good job. Thank you. You ready for more games? Since you're doing so well, might as well go to the next game, right?
Ready? Here we go.
So now it's the same game, but now it's just letters. You pick your number.
Okay, I will go with 90 that I did with
Okay.
numbers. Am I audible?
Yep, you go. Whenever you're set, you go.
Okay. P, K, L, J, O, Y, A, L, H, P, D, A, W, N, S, M, U, B, E, G.
Okay. Piece of cake. Did good. Congratulations. That was easy. So now, so what we do now is I have had some adults that say, my child doesn't need this. This is too easy. I can do this. Okay. So you just have them do it. You just increase the speed for the parent. And they'll
Okay.
fail. And they go, oh God, I can understand now why my child is failing. Okay. So you get it down to where they could participate, and then you increase the speed. So now we're going to go to the next level on that.
Is there any upper limit of speed? How much we can go?
So the goal is to go from 80 beats per minute to 120. So you were at 90, so you have plenty of room to grow. So I keep pushing higher and higher and higher levels. Okay, so if they do 90, then you go 95. So the auditory system, when you change from 90 to 95, the auditory system says, I hear a difference. 2 beats later, it says, it's the same.
Okay.
How it processes. So here's a difference, but then it says, oh, it's the same. I can do that. So that's why you can increase it. So you go from 90 to 95 to 100, 105, 110. Okay. And
And we
they
can
just notice
definitely go higher
differences.
than
But it's
120,
the
right?
same. Pardon?
Later on, we can go higher than 120 as well, right?
So on this one here is a different task on this task. So instead of saying 12, 71, 86, 21, 33, 59, you're going to say the outer ones of them. So we're going to go back to this initial task that you did five times ago, 6 times ago. You're going to say the outer ones. So you're going to say 1, 1, 8, 1, 3, 9, 4, 2, 5, 7. You're going to say the outer numbers.
Okay.
And the reason why is your tongue gets tied up as you get to increasing speeds. So you get above 100 beats per minute, your tongue can't move fast enough.
Okay.
So that's why you say the outer ones of these. Okay.
Okay. I think I will go at 100 for this one.
Perfect.
Yes. 1, 1, 8, 1, 3, 9, 4, 2, 5, 7, 3, 1, 9, 6, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 9, 5.
Okay. So what happened on that last number?
I had tongue slip, or I don't know how something happened.
So what number did you say?
I think 4.
You said 4. Where's the 4 on there?
There is no
74.
4.
So the
Yeah,
4 is
yeah.
there. So your eyes actually stopped short.
Okay.
Your brain says, I can process that. And that's why he said 4. He didn't make the jump all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. It's no problem. It's just an observation. So what I call it, when I'm working with kids is they have to finish the race. Okay. What happens with your eyes when you do that is you start moving your eyes up because you know what's going to happen. You're going to win the race. Okay. And you end up taking your foot off the gas and you cruise in and the guy passes you right next to you. You go, wait a minute. He's not supposed to win. I'm supposed to win. So you got to finish the race and then you turn off your engine. Okay. So this happens. I see this all the time, especially with Olympic athletes. They do this all the time. They don't finish the race. They stop just short. And the last number, they'll say it wrong. Finish the race, turn off your engine. Okay. So I worked with a motorcycle rider. He did the Isle of Man, and he's driving a motorcycle between 100 to 150 miles an hour on this streets in the Isle of Man. The object is if a animal comes out and he hits it, he's dead. So he has to think all the time. And what by doing these activities, he was able to stay in the zone for a longer time. And he went faster and faster. So simple activities, he would practice this before, do 2 pages before he went out and raced. And he was going faster. So anyway, so that's how that. So now we're going to go to the next level. Since you're on a roll and you're doing such a great job. So now we have the same thing. Remember how we squished those letters? You had to say the ones in the center. So now you have to say the outer ones. So it's the K on the left side, the P on the right side, the C on the left side, the N on the right side.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the same thing. Okay. So you turn on your beat, whatever you want it at. It's fine with me.
Okay, I'm starting at 100.
Okay. Go.
K, P, C, N, S, D, H, M, E, H, E, R, N, Y, N, T, A, N, D.
Okay. So how do you do? Did you do good?
Yeah, I did better than previous one, but again at last I was about to say C instead of D.
Right. So what you just said is I was about to say C. That's where your eyes were looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not good or bad. It's just what you did. So you say, okay, that's fine. So now we go to the next one. Ready, Janice?
I'm there.
Okay. So Janice did all the work here to put these numbers on there and letters
Thank
on
you
there.
so much, Dinesh.
So you can say, thank you, Janice. She worked her little fingers off there, all
Thanks a lot,
bumpy
Dinesh.
and they're red and bloody, and after she did all this work.
You.
So it's the same concept. And so now you have to say the underlined ones back and forth. Okay, on the metronome beat.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
You decide.
I'm starting at 100.
Okay.
3, 3, 6, 9, 5, 9.
Whoa. What number did you say? You said 9. You got to say the 7.
Oh, let me start.
3, 3, 6, 7. It's the one on the outside.
Okay,
It's the one
okay.
always on the right.
Okay, I think I need to decrease some speed. I cannot go.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Okay, I'm keeping this at 90 this time.
Yep. Okay.
3, 3, 6, 7, 5, 9, 4, 2, 9, 7, 2, 6, 2, 0, 5, 9, 7, 2, 5, 8.
Perfect. Okay. So he's able to perform. So you just go faster. So now we'll go to the next level, Janice.
Okay.
So now we have all these. Okay.
Okay.
So now you have to say the underlined ones back and forth, the outer ones. So it's the L, Q, A, J, the ones on the outside. Okay.
Okay. I will
90.
bring this at
You should,
90.
and you should be worn out by now. Your eyes are really tired from doing all this work. So everybody should give you a thank you for doing all this hard work. So I didn't have to do it. So I appreciate it. Can you do that?
Yeah, I will do that at 90. L Q A J S D J R E R Q V E Y H D D A N A.
Excellent. Good job. Thank you so much. You did all the hard work. You did all the heavy lifting for everybody. Okay. And everybody learned from what you did. Okay. So these activities are such that if you can do these every day, you'll be better. So you'll learn how to go from inline to start next line faster. You'll process information faster. Your brain will be turned on faster. You'll gain more information with less effort. So I do this every morning. I do this before I do other things because I want to turn on my central processing and my peripheral processing to make it easier for me. So it just turns on my brain. And so here on this one, it's a cheat sheet. Takes everything we just did, puts it on one sheet of paper. So you can see there that we did the testing, the evaluation, the racing. We did the numbers back and forth, 2 pages per day, 10 minutes. Okay. And what you find is your speed will decrease. So yesterday, my speed was, it took me 2 minutes and 31 seconds to do my tasks. So 2 minutes and 31 seconds to turn on my brain. I think that's benefit to do that. So now we've done all these right here, single numbers, double numbers, the outer ones. And now the next thing is, well, we haven't got to a book yet. So the way that you do this is you take your book. So here's my Kindle, okay? And I do 100 lines, first and last letter, to a metronome beat, start at 80, goal is to be at 120. And that's what it says on it, count 100 lines in any book. That's about 4 pages, 5 pages, depends upon your print size. And then you read the first and last letter out loud at 80 to a goal to up to 120 beats per minute. Then the last activity is you take your book, count down 20 lines, and you read the first and last letter out loud. No metronome now. Metronome's turned off. We don't have a metronome. You don't need that. You're just going to say it out loud. You're just going to time and see how fast you can do it. So the goal is to be able to do 20 lines out loud, first and last letter, in 25 seconds, then 20, 18, 15, 13, 12, 11. And I had one student, one patient that could do it at 10 seconds. His tongue could move, okay? He just had very excellent control over his tongue. I can't do 10 seconds. So anyway, that's all it is. It's very simple. The hardest part about this whole thing is to find 5 minutes to do this. If you do, you'll read faster with less effort, okay? You'll gain more knowledge and be a lot quicker. And all those students in Nepal will be benefiting by you just working with them. So Janice has worked with students and she sees what they do, sees what they've done. Other Lions Club members, we did 3 schools here. I let them do all the work. I didn't do anything. I said, hey, you do it. So that's why you're excited about doing this, because you can do the work. You can change Nepal. And if you can change their reading skills, reading ability, if they're looking in the right place, they're going to read better with less effort. Okay, and you'll change their life. So that's why we're going to the Chicago jail. The 18 to 25-year-olds, 80% of them can't track. They can't do that, what you just did. They can't do jump high movements. Okay, so if we can change them, they can be on a different trajectory. Instead of having a recidivism rate of 55%, the studies have shown they can go down to about 9%. So only 9% go back into the system versus 55% going back in. So it benefits everybody. It's simple, it's easy, and the hardest part is just doing it. So what do you think? Does everybody think? Was it good?
Can I take down the share? Are we
Sure.
done with the forms?
Yep.
Okay.
So what does everybody think? Is this a good
Yeah.
activity? Can you do this for us? Can you do this in Nepal?
Yeah, we can do it. Is this exercise supposed to increase our reading speed for normal textbook as well?
Yep. Anything you read, if you do that test beforehand, that evaluation, saying those only 1, 2, 3, see how fast you can do it. You do this for 3 weeks to 4 weeks, reevaluate, and you'll find, hey, I can move faster.
Okay.
It's really, you think, I need to do all this other stuff, but the brain always is looking for ways to do things more efficiently. We're training the brain. Okay. And
Should we change the content or repeat the same content for the exercise?
pardon?
Should we change the content we prepare for our exercise or repeat the same content?
Yep, it's the same content. So
Do we have more materials than one that we printed on the website?
do we have more what?
More materials, like
Yes,
more
so those, so
exercises.
so Dr. Parth, okay, we made a session as in Nepalese instead of in English. Okay, so this can be translated in any language. We're translating into Spanish here in Colombia, South America. They're working to translate it into Spanish to do the same thing.
No, not language, but do we have more exercises like similar to this?
I can go on to the next level.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of saying those numbers back and forth, the ones where you had to practice saying the outer ones or the underlined ones, now what you have to do to make it even harder, you have to add a number in your brain and process it at a metronome speed. And your speed can, you're processing, it's amazing how much it'll change. So I had some patients would add 2 to the left-hand side, add 3 to the right-hand side. And they go, wow, my brain is just turned on. Okay, is everybody? So
Thank you very much, sir.
okay, so we tried to make it such it's really simple. Do the simple things first, make it easy first. Once you can achieve, then you go on to the harder tasks. Okay, and when you work with a child that's sitting right in front of you, or a patient sitting right in front of you, you can see that. So right now I'm doing a lot of research in Alzheimer's disease. This has never been done in the world, but with Alzheimer's disease, a person that I was on the hiking yesterday, her father has Alzheimer's disease. A year ago, they did this project, okay? And he was faster than the daughter was. And in a year's time, his tracking speed is half of his daughter's speed. So we lost it there. So her idea is let's just practice this over and over again. So when I worked with other Alzheimer's patients and other systems, anytime you put a chemical into the brain, medicine's there to change that. Anyway, when you put in medicines in there to change mental processing, it'll affect your jump eye movements. So anyway, you can test drive it, you can see, but the main thing is just try it out and just just dream big. Go out and try it with somebody, see what happens. So I thank you so much for doing this with us. For at least taking your time and willing to expand your abilities, because everybody can get better. So, so if you have more questions, I didn't look at all my chats on there while we're doing this. So is there something that you need me to explain better? Or do you figure that's pretty easy? I understand this. What do you think? Any questions?
For the person who cannot read those letters, can we just use these figures only? It will work as well.
Yes, that's why they're lions. Just do the lions. You don't have to know numbers. You don't have to know letters. You just have to touch. And so where you touch is where your eyes are looking at. Okay. So when they're going across there, okay, and they're going on that last line and they look up and they touch, instead of being on the last line, they're just an eighth of an inch before it. They're just a little tiny bit before it. That's where their eyes were looking at. Remember, I said you got to finish the race, then turn off your engine. Okay, so that you can see that. And these kids do it all the time. Then once you train them, they go, okay. So if you're doing gymnastics, I trained one person that was doing gymnastics, okay? And they would yell at her to finish her program, then stop. Okay, don't stop on the last one. Oh, I can nail that. Oh, you didn't nail it. He didn't land right. So she did this, learned that skill, went back and she was able to nail her landings better. Okay, so gymnastics is a central peripheral process, and you've got to be able to see where you're going to land while you're spinning in midair. Okay.
Sir, I have a small question. Rather than doing this practice, can't we read just books? Will this exercise increase our reading speed more compared to just reading more and more books?
So you can read more and more books, but you never know when you're faster. You don't know how to do it faster.
Okay.
You don't know how to do it more efficiently. So you can do that.
Okay.
Just read and read and read and read. You'll figure it out. But I'm in a process of, hey,
have you compared
so if I do a little bit of training beforehand, I'll get better.
Sir, have you compared it in your research that this training increases speed more as compared to reading books, like just reading the books?
Yes. So in looking there and working with teachers, when I had in one school, okay, I convinced the teacher just to do these activities and not to work on their reading. And their reading level progressed very slowly. Okay. Because they weren't reading, they were just doing these activities. Okay. And the other teachers, they got better because they were learning in first grade, they were learning how to read, and they got better. Then in January, so they started in September doing this. And in January, I said to the teacher, well, just teach them how to read now. And so here is this program is going like this. Okay, for the other teachers, this one right here, they're doing just vision activities. Then they taught them how, or the teachers just taught them how to read, and they just blossomed. So here is the level. The difference was this much. Okay, here's the one that just did lots of reading, practice reading. This is the one that did the practice and vision first, then did the reading. So there's a huge difference. So all the teachers came back to her and said, "What are you doing? You got better. Your kids are much better." So we did this, so you can gain this all by just reading. It's take you a lot longer, but you might as well just train the skills. So I'm just training this where to look in the right place, training the visual system where to look in the right place. So both systems work, but it just works more efficiently, faster. And my granddaughters are fifth graders, and the problem I have with them is they won't get out of books.
I have a small question. Okay, we can train this for 3 or 4 weeks to get results, right? So do we need to continue our training furthermore throughout the life, or we can stop it after 3 or 4 weeks?
So what I found is, for me, is I do this every day. I've been doing it every day for 15, 20 years. Okay, and it just makes it easier for me to read. So if I preset my brain what it has to do in the future, then I read faster. So I do right before I'm going to read a lot. If I have to read really complex, like I said, I'm studying Alzheimer's disease right now. Okay, so it's really complex things, concepts that I don't know all the way. So I find I read slower, but if I practice this first, then I get better comprehension. It's easier for me.
So we can be doing this single page for next 10 years or 15 years every day.
Yeah, but back to the concept. Remember I said you had to do 5 20-line races? So that's what I do every day. I just do countdown 20 lines, read first and last letter, 20 lines, out loud. Okay. And I do that over and over again. So that's where I'm at. You don't have to go back and touch the lions and that. Go to the last one and just do 5 20-line races. So you count down 20 lines in a book, read first letter and last letter, okay? Then you'll read faster with greater comprehension with less effort.
20 lines and 5 times. That's 20 into 5 sets, right?
Right. So you just take a book and count down 20 lines in the book, read the first letter and the last letter in each line for 20 lines. How fast can you do it? The goal is to be able to do that in 25 seconds, then 20 seconds, then 18, 15, 13, 12, 11. And you're changing how you process up here. So we're not changing the eyes, we're changing the processing system. Okay, so that's what I do every day. So I will go back and retouch the lines, or I'll say the underlined ones once in a while, but not very often. But I do 5 20-line races every day.
And the point of making about touching the lions in time to the beat, doing that, is a time test, 5 to 10 minutes every day, 1 to 2 pages as you can do it. But the idea is to do it every day. Maybe do it for a couple of weeks, okay? 10 times 10 is, you get 100 minutes in, and then re-screen your person on the 1, 2, 3, and see of how much improvement there has been in that short amount of time. The idea is to get a base score for how they do, give them some remediation, and then re-screen to see the improvement. That's the way you're going to tell if the remediation is beginning to work for that person. So you do need to do it for several days in a row, a couple of weeks even, and then re-screen the 1, 2, 3 and see the progress that has happened. And that's why you keep the sheet and just have a time to go back to see the improvement that has happened. And really, that's the only way to tell if it's starting to kick in.
Right. So I've worked with dyslexia. Okay. And most dyslexics can't track. You teach them how to track, they still are dyslexic, but they're more efficient. They can do this with less effort. Okay. So their wiring in their brain is different. I understand that, but you still got to look at the right spot. If you're not looking at the right spot, you're not going to say the right word. And what it does with dyslexia is they put in letters, take out letters, make new words, and that's just a tracking problem. They looked in the wrong spot, so they put in new letters. No different than the other ones that you did there. More questions? Anybody
Do
else
you have any
other
questions?
Pardon?
I'm asking participants if you have any question to ask.
Sir,
I feel like Richard has cleared everything during his presentation. Yeah, I can hear Sahara asking question. Over to you, Sahara.
Sir, I want to know what is like Alzheimer's disease. Do they forget things or what
Pardon me?
happens? Sir, what is Alzheimer's disease? Like people forget things or?
So Alzheimer's, yes, they forget things. So what it is when they're doing their task and comprehend what is that number, it takes them too long to process it. So by practicing, you can actually change the cells that are right next to the ones that are damaged. Okay, and so that's why we're doing it. That's why I'm working with, that's my next thing I'm going to work on, is working and changing Alzheimer's processing. And I think it can be remediated. It can be less, from what I've read so far, is that it can be changed. It won't, the disease, they still will have Alzheimer's disease, but they'll be able to remember things better, be able to process, because the other active neurons in the brain will take over some of that ability. So I don't know. It's never been done in the world, but I'm not afraid to try it and say, hey, let's go see what happens and learn by this stuff. Because this is just a very simple task, but it's very, very, very powerful on what you can do. Okay? Okay, so try it out. So for you, when you had difficulty with it, okay, so I would just go, and that fear of locking up, that will go down. You go, oh, well, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And it gets easier. It's much easier.
Thank you
Yes.
very much, Lion Richard and Lion Chancy, for joining us from the US, for taking out some time for us despite a very busy schedule. My special thanks to Lion Mukesh Mittalji, who contacted you and arranged today's schedule. I request everyone to switch on their cameras for a while so that a screenshot can be taken, so that whenever we visit US, we can gift it by training to Lion Richard as well as Lion James. I request everyone to switch on your cameras for a while. Leo Manisha, Lion Anil, Lion Satruan, please switch on your cameras. A formal photo, a formal screenshot. Lion Satruan, please switch on your cameras. सबैजना क्यामेरातिर हेरौँ. प्रकाश क्यामेरा मिलाऊ आफ्नो. प्रभास. ल. Everyone ready with a beautiful smile over your face? Lion Jency. Everyone ready with a beautiful smile over your face? Smile. Smile. One more smile. And we will be done with the photo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So we would like to do more for you in Nepal. Okay?
Pardon,
So if you have
Richard.
more people that want to do this, we are willing to train. You just tell us when you want to do this. We want no student not to fail because they can't do accurate jump by movements. It's there, and we're here for you. We want to help you.
Thank you, Lion Richard, for your willingness. Thank you, Lion Jancy, for your willingness for this one.
We're happy
Thank
to
you.
do it. Absolutely wonderful.
You guys are my heroes. Thank you so much for all your
We
efforts.
truly appreciate Lion Mukeshji. Mukeshji, तपाईलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद. टाढा बसे पनि तपाईले आज यो कार्यक्रम मिलाउनका लागि धेरै मिहिनेत गर्नुभयो. Lion Dr. Vikas, Lion Dr. Subhash, Leo Jivan, Leo Prabhas, Leo Sahara for being so interactive in today's session. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Subham. Thank you, Richard Miller, sir, and Jency Russell, ma'am. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The best thing that I felt today was we overcome our shortcomings of last time. We were prepared with all the resource materials. Our bad experience of previous made us do better today. Isn't it, Jansi?
And you did get the handouts without the words on the top for the ease of hitting them, right? The no headers. Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes, Jansi, please continue.
Okay.
So the formal session is almost ready. If you have something to share, you are welcome. You can either share your experience, or if you have any query, you can come forward with it. Otherwise, we'll be ending the session after 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. So any other questions? Anything else I can help you with?
I can see the chat box, the message of appreciation from Lion Dr. Subhash Dai, Lion Dr. Anil. One of the best thing of today's session is most of us belong to different countries, different places. Like Vikasji and Subhashji are from the most eastern part of Nepal, Bhadrapur. Jivan and Pravas are from Dharan. Sara is from Godgaon. Dilip is from Jumla. Manisha is from Itari. Anil is from Okhaldunga. Satruan is from Dharan, and I am from Viratnagar. So we'll try to increase the reach of this program in different places of Nepal after our today's session. I will send the as soon as I receive certificate from Janice, I will send to all of you. Do you have something to share? Or may I in today's session?
So here's the last thing. If you screen 10 people, do that test, that evaluation. If you work for an hour with one person, and if you take a test, you'll get a Lions Club pin. And we have sent, how many have we sent, Janice?
Oh, I sent you a whole bunch. 100, but 100?
100 pins. So
Yes.
that's our goal, is I want everybody to evaluate, work with somebody, and earn that pin. Okay? And if you'll be the ones that'll receive the benefits. You'll see it. And so anyway, that's a benefit. So if you can do that, it's pretty easy. It takes you 2 hours to get it. But you have to earn it. You don't get it by not doing the work.
Thank you very much, Lion Richard and Lion Jancy. I'll be collecting feedbacks from everyone and sharing to you via email. I'm now going to end our today's session. Thank you very much. We really feel it was very fruitful and we got to learn a lot from you. We'll keep you updated about our future sessions, physical sessions that we execute in different parts of Nepal. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
morning for the US. Good morning for the US and
Namaste.
good night from
Good
Nepal.
night.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you for doing
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
I'm leaving.
Thank
Bye.
you, Shubham.
Bye. Bye. Bye.